So without much ado, I will pass the floor to Venerable Yu Zheng.
Okay, thank you so much. Auspicious blessing and good day, everyone. I would like to welcome all the speakers and every one of you for attending today's symposium named Encountering Gandhara, a Millennium Promise with Buddha. I'm very honored to be here as a moderator at this symposium. Before we get started, I would like to introduce to you all about our speakers of today. From the end over there, we have Dr. Israel, who traveled all the way from Pakistan. Okay, a round of applause for Dr. Israel. Dr. Israel holds a PhD from the Taxila Institute of Asian Civilizations, Quaid University. For his PhD, he studied the cultural and religious significance of Silk Road. His research on heritage protection issues and language development in Pakistan has appeared in academic journals and newspapers. So now he is the director of the Silk Road Center, an educational and cultural organization working to promote culture, heritage, and cross-cultural connection for peace and progress. May we greet him with our warmest applause again. And next we have Venerable Ru Singh. I think you all know him, you know her very well. She's graduated. She's graduated from Chongning University in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. After her graduation, she's been serving in Fo Guang San, Malaysia. And now she's the president of Fo Guang San, Malaysia, and also the deputy abbess of Fo Guang San PJFGS 3, which is here. And she is also the CEO of Fo Guang Publication. So a round of applause for Venerable Ru Singh. Okay, last but not the least, we have Venerable Yu Zheng, who is next to me. She holds a master's degree in Education, Policy, and Society from Cardiff University, United Kingdom. Now she is the PhD candidate in Educational Psychology, University of Malaya. At the same time, she plays an important role as a vice president of Buddha's Light International Association, Young Adult Division, the whole Malaysia chapter. Thank you for all our speakers of today. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, let us get started. So I would like to use the following time to turn to our speakers. So first of all, let us have Dr. Israel. Okay, Dr. Israel, we really appreciate your effort in organizing the International Buddhist Congress at Pakistan in March this year. Due to your effort, we had the opportunity to visit the ancient Buddhist sites in Gandhara. Okay, with a good friendship and connection between us, you and your wife also come to Malaysia today. So many of us curious, maybe a lot of the audiences, you might curious, why does Pakistan, a Muslim country, organize a Buddhist conference? As the main organizer of this activity, can you share with us what prompted you to host the Congress? What are the entire procedure for the preparation of the Congress? And from the brainstorming idea to successfully host the Congress. So please, Dr. Israel.
Thank you very much, Venerable Yu Zheng. It's an honor for me to be here, and happy Vesak Day once again to all of you. I learned to say Salamat Hari Vesak to every. In March of 2020, it was an honor for us to receive two delegations from Malaysia who came all the way from here to Islamabad to attend an international conference on Buddhism in Pakistan. History, art, archaeology, architecture was the topic, and we were honored to receive these delegations from here, from other countries, and a total of more than 50 speakers. They spoke at this conference. They presented their research only on Gandharan Buddhism, Buddhism in Pakistan, its history, art and architecture. And we had 25 artists. 2 or 3 of them were international artists, and the remaining artists, all Muslims, they presented their artwork on Buddhism in Pakistan as part of this 2-day international conference. And after 2 days of the conference and art festival, we took some of our delegates, not everyone, 50 delegates, to see some of the heritage sites, Gandharan heritage sites in Pakistan, ancient Buddhist heritage sites. So it was all in all a successful conference, and I call this entire process a journey of discovery and friendship. We discovered so many things, and we made so good friends in Malaysia and in other countries. We are honored. Thank you very much to the honorables to visit Pakistan for the conference. We took 12 steps to organize this conference. As Venerable asked me, why did we do a conference, Buddhism conference in Pakistan? Pakistan is a Muslim country, why? Why did we do a conference? And then what did we achieve after the conference? And how did we achieve that? So this brief presentation covers these topics. So I'll be brief. Pakistan, as we know, yeah, it's working. It's working. No, it's working. Pakistan, we call it the Holy Land of Buddhism. Pakistan is a diverse country, a country of diverse cultures and religions. We have every faith in Pakistan. We have more than 70 languages in Pakistan. I won't talk in detail about it. But above all, we are a greatest center of Buddhism in our region called Gandhara. Gandhara is in northwestern Pakistan. Like you have so many provinces and states, Pakistan has 5 big provinces and 2 regions. So in 2 of our provinces, the northern part of these provinces in Pakistan is called Gandhara. Gandhara is a holy land of Buddhism. In the morning, I just briefly mentioned for 4 things, Pakistan and Gandhara is an important center of Buddhism. 1, Mahayana Buddhism and Vajrayana Buddhism started from Pakistan's Gandhara region. The first image, you see so many images here, the first image of Lord Buddha started from Pakistan. And the first sutras were compiled in Pakistan. We have the earliest sutras found in Gandhara region of Pakistan. And the 4th thing is, Pakistan is the birthplace of great Buddhist philosophers. If you look on your right side, you can see 2 pictures of 2 great brothers, Asanga and Asubandha. Both of these great philosophers were born in Peshawar of today. Peshawar is a big city in Pakistan. These 2 great scholars and philosophers of Buddhism were born in Pakistan's Gandhara region, and they worked on Buddhist sutras. And in the 8th century, Padmasambhava or Guru Rinpoche was born in Pakistan's Swat region, which is part of Gandhara. So we wanted to highlight, through this conference, we wanted to highlight Pakistan and Pakistan's Gandhara region as the center of Buddhism. And we wanted to promote not only the understanding of Buddhist religion, Buddhism faith in Pakistan, but in other countries, and we wanted to promote Pakistan as a tourist destination. We wanted people to come and visit. We wanted, in particular, we wanted Buddhist followers to visit Pakistan, to see their history, origin, roots. These were the main objectives of the conference. We took 12 steps to organize the conference. First, we discussed the idea. We were 3 partners who organized this conference. One was our organization, Silk Road Center. The second was Pakistan's top university, Quaid-e-Azam University, like your University of Malaya. It's a top university. And the third organization was from Uzbekistan, International Center for Central Asian Studies. So we three organized the conference, but with the help of other organizations, of course. Other organizations, we organized the concept first, we finalized it, and then we invited people to send their research scholars and artists, their research to us, and we selected their research work, their artwork. We worked closely with scholars in Pakistan and international scholars who worked on Gandhara and Buddhism. So all in all, we took 12 steps. Those are written on the slides here. You can find, how did we reach to organize a successful conference. So the core committee, I was part of the core committee. The Vice Chancellor of Quaid-e-Azam University was the head of this core committee. I was the convener, and we had 13 other members. Interestingly, from business sector, we had politicians on this committee, we had business leaders on this committee, we had social leaders like the Prince of Swat. He's a good friend. He was also a part of this committee. We had, of course, academics and scholars part of this core committee, which managed the entire process of the conference. So in the end, I would like to brief you on whether or not this conference was successful. It is a successful conference in 2 or 3 things we achieved out of the conference, rather more. We had great, we had great response from Pakistan. People say Pakistan is a Muslim country. They won't be working on Gandhara and Buddhism and other religions. Most of the scholars were Muslims. Most of the scholars were Pakistani, but we also received great response internationally as well. International scholars from the US, from Nepal, from India, from Sri Lanka, from Germany, participated in person or virtually in this conference. We received quality research works, quality artwork. Some of the art you can see here was exhibited as part of this art festival. And we were able to build great partnerships with business. The biggest hotel in Pakistan, hotel chain in Pakistan, Serena Hotels. Serena Hotels is the biggest chain. They helped us, with food and tea. And we were also able to engage government, federal ministry, and government helped us host, the hall, the big hall, beautiful hall. And we were also able to get very good media coverage. If you're interested, my next slide shows you this conference was covered in the national media, in Urdu press, in English press, top Urdu papers, top English papers, and 5, 6 TV channels. We have more than 70 TV channels, and majority of them are news channels. They covered the conference. The President of Pakistan was the chief guest. He opened the conference. He inaugurated the conference. So all in all, the conference was successful. But at the same time, we had challenges also. I think we can just look at some of the challenges. COVID made us postpone this conference 2 times. COVID problems, but in the end we were successful. We wanted it to be a face-to-face conference, not a virtual or Zoom conference. We wanted people to see. Had we done a Zoom conference, we could have missed, meeting venerables and delegates. We could have missed these nice friendship and warm, relations. So yeah, we had some challenges with regard to technology, but overall we had a successful conference. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah,
to talk
congratulations for hosting such a successful Congress. Thank you so much. Without your aspiration, I think it is not easy to host everything together to make this happen. So without your aspiration, there won't be us sitting here today. And this is so interesting to listen to the story behind the scenes. So we can't even believe that we will get a chance to visit such a beautiful country. So thank you so much for your effort. So next, I would like to hear from our speakers, Venerable Ru Singh. Have you ever thought that you will have the opportunity to go to Pakistan in your lifetime to see and feel the ancient Gandhara? So how did you feel at the moment? Can you please describe your experience and share with us?
Thank you, Venerable Yojong. When I come across Gandhara art, is actually during my studies in the Buddhist college. We learn a lot from the history of Buddhism, and I have a picture of a Gandhara Buddha statue, which was put in my room until now. It's almost over 10 years already. I always admiring the art and the Greek-like Buddha statue, and of course, like what you say, I never had this thought that I can visit Pakistan. I think I have to say a big thank you to Venerable Jetson for allowing us as a young, not very young, but monastic, okay, as a junior, to have the chance to explore and become a very big eye-opener for us. Because what we have been doing or reading is from the books, from the text, but we never meet those places in person. But after the 8 days tour, I think I have gained a lot of experiences. I remember one incident which was shared by Dr. Ijao at our lodge. He said during the very flourished time in Swat Valley, just Swat Valley alone, there are 1,400 monasteries in Swat Valleys and more than 10,000 monastics at that time. So he was describing to me when the morning bell was ringing all over the valleys, how nice it could be. So I have a very deep impression from his description, and really I think what was read in the book is actually cannot compare from what we have been staying there for 8 days. A lot of things that I read from the book now is become a real thing. And after we come back to Malaysia, we have been isolated ourselves for 5 days because of the requirement. And when we go back to the text again, the way we read the book is totally different because we went to that place already. And that is why I think I really encourage everyone to go to Pakistan yourself as a Chinese Mahayana, where the first Buddha image was being formed in Pakistan. And we have so many sutras being translated from the Kharosthi text and all that. I think it is really, you can have a better connection with the teaching of the Buddha. And for the second benefit that I harvested is because through the visit, I have really clears all my doubts. I think the common doubts that we all have is Pakistan dangerous, is Pakistan a Taliban provinces and things like that. Are we allowed to go? Is it okay? Things like that all vanish. It is a very safe country to me. Until now, at this moment, I can say a commoner, anyone who walk late in the night, I think is safe also. Especially when I went to Swat, I see the people there are so busy. I think it's 11:30 at night. People are still selling things. They are selling herbs. There are barber shops. There are nuts. Selling at 11:30 p.m. Imagine. So it is very a nice and full of hospitality country. When we go there, I think the Pakistani seldom meet us in person. So they always come to us and ask us a lot of questions. Who you are, where do you come from? And always the very last question, please bring back the message that Pakistanis are always a nice person. Yeah. So I was in awe, and I really want to send this message to all of you now at this moment. Really, do come to Pakistan to do your pilgrimage in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your sharing. Yeah, I think I agree. We all, as a younger generation of Fo Guang San Monastic, we are so fortunate to get the chance to visit this such a sacred homeland of Mahayana Buddhism. So the next questions I would like to direct to Venerable Yoteng. We all know that the ancient city of Gandhara in Pakistan is the origin of Mahayana Buddhism. So from your research on the literature and your personal visit to this ancient Buddhist site, which already has more than 1,000 years of history, can you tell us more about Gandhara and its specialties? Why is Gandhara claimed to be the origin of Mahayana Buddhism? How important is the role of Gandhara in the spread of Buddhism to China?
Thank you, Venerable Yojong. Yeah, I'm grateful too to have opportunity to visit Pakistan in last March. I would like to echo the statement given by Venerable Lucy about the security. So for your information, I think we need to apply license in every state or district when we visit, right? So this is to inform the local government to take care of our safety. And during the whole journey, we escorted by the armed force, 4 of them. Yeah, 4 of them, yes. And with that is that M16? I'm not sure. Armed force, and two of them in the truck facing us because they are in the first in the row, and then second will be our cars, and then the third one is our young scholar follow us. So 2 of them facing us with the M16 ready trigger, stand by anytime. So 7:24, not really, but when we sleep, okay, of course, they still take care of our safety. And also, when we want to go to toilet, they say, this is not safe, you cannot get down here. So until we reach a safe, so-called safe place, and they escort us to the toilet, and then they stand in front of the toilet and wait for us. So for the safety, it is not the problem at all. And for the commoner or the visitors, as I mentioned just now, we need to apply the license from the local government so that they know the assistance or the arrival of the visitor or the tourists. They will keep their eyes on us. And regarding the people that the young, especially young people, they are very friendly. They are very friendly, and they also they don't feel shy, and they approach us proactively, and they wish to know more the world out there, because we are the monastic, we're like this and without headboard, right? So they are very curious, and also they heard about the Buddha, of course, but from the Chinese monastic, they want to know from different perspectives, from different point of view, because they know Buddhism and the temple and the monastic from what? From the heritage, from the stones only. Yeah. But now the living monastic, walking on the street. Yeah. So we are like the star, right? So when we stop, when we're from here, we want to walk to the end. It took us a very long time to reach there. Yeah. So when we stop, let them to take photo. It probably getting more and more people will come one after another. Okay, we can't even move an inch. So why so special, Gandhara, is it? So it can be described as a melting pot of the human civilization. Human civilization. Why? Because the great civilization, Indian civilization, Iran civilization, and the craftsman culture, they met and collide and then merge, creating a unique cosmopolitan Gandhara civilization there. And also, it was the cradle of Mahayana Buddhism, because from where actually were transmitted into China, into Korea, Japan, Vietnam, Cambodia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, and Malaysia. From there. And also, since it was once the crossroad of the world civilization, many religious elements of Southeast Asian civilization can be found there. Such as like great philosophy, theology, aesthetic, Buddhism, Hinduism, and local gods. So you can see the elements of the religious over there, and they have inspired each other, and then form a influence. And whereas the Buddhist system of the Eastern civilization, after transmitting to China, it merged with the Chinese Confucianism, and also Taoism, like Yin Yang, 5 elements. So it's, after that, they create and became inherent part of China. So the influence of Gandhara civilization is not limited in the Gandhara area. Okay, generally speaking, there are 2 traces for us as the external left by the Gandhara civilization. First is the Buddhist artistic style of Gandhara, and second is the sutra and secular textbook written in Kharosthi. Kharosthi is an ancient Indo-Iranian script used by Saka, Khasa, Yuezhi people. In present location, they are northern Pakistan and eastern Afghanistan. So these are the places used to be the Buddhism flourish in these places. And the scholar believe that this is the original language that had been translated into different languages later. So this is the master copy or the master language. Right? So I support the statement from Dr. Isra, saying that it is believed the first Buddha statue was found in Gandhara, the statue first in the history, not the first in Gandhara, but in the world, in the history, the first Buddha statue. And the first, at the same time, the first Buddhist scripture was found in produced in Gandhara as well. Yeah. So I believe the scripture that they found in the written form, in Gandhara as well, is the Mahayana Buddhism scripture. I think it's Prashna Canon or Bora Bu. Okay. So this is why it's so important for us. So as a monastic in Mahayana Buddhism in practice, I feel very touched and proud that I was standing at the birthplace of the Bhikkhu Vasupandu and also Bhikkhu Asanga. We call them Bodhisattva as well. Long Su and Wuju Pusa, who were the founder of Yogacara school. Yeah, in our Mahayana Buddhism lineage. Yeah, so this school is very important as well, and this become one of the 5 mainstream in Chinese Buddhism. So, and also from the bhikkhu or the monk from China, they are Master Fa Xian, Master Xuanzang. They visited Gandhara as well. So the place that visited in Pasawa, Taxila, they've been there. So we saw the places that they have visited and settled down for a very short period. So Pakistan is so rich in the historical past. So it is more than words to tell. Today, this is our honor to have Dr. Israel and Dr. Fasiha here. I would like to take this opportunity to invite Dr. Fasiha to walk us through one of the heritages in Gandhara.
Okay, let's welcome Dr. Fasiha.
Hello. Yeah. First of all, I would like to tell you all the difference. One of my friends asked me, what is Pakistan and what is Gandhara? Actually, Gandhara is the name of an area, a place. 2000 years back, this place was called Gandhara. But after 2000, cities and new countries are now built. So that time of Gandhara is in Pakistan now. So this is the difference between Gandhara and Pakistan. What we have in Pakistan is actually 2000 years back in Gandhara. Now we did not called Pakistan as Gandhara, but we are actually the owners, you can say now, of the land called Gandhara 2000 years back. So what we have in Gandhara is, you can think like we have treasures of Buddhism. 2000 years back, Buddhism flourished in Gandhara. That time Gandhara, it was filled with monasteries, it was filled with learning centers, it was filled with stupas. But after 2000, the Buddhists, few Buddhists, they converted into the next, we got different religions, and other Buddhists, they went to different places. So in Pakistan, we don't have much number of Buddhists, but we have the places, we have the ruins, which we are trying to excavate, and we are trying to make them preserve for you people. So I'm going to show you just one glimpse of Gandhara. We have like hundreds of it. But I will try to get you through only one jewel of the treasure. Okay, this is known as Bhamala Buddhist Complex. Before we can go to my slides, it's a pictorial presentation for you so that you can see how the monasteries were built 1800 years back. This you all see is not today's world. It is all built 1800 years back. So before that, I would like to show you the feelings of Dr. Abdul Hamid. He was a leading member of the team that excavated the Bhamala site. We have scholars, we have students. They worked with the help of people and they excavate any place. So they do their research and they got their PhD degrees on that. So Abdul Hamid Saab, he has his PhD degree on Bhamala site. I hope I can do this. Which one? Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. Volume. Volume, please. So, he declares that this is the most sacred place for Mahayana Buddhism in Texla. In Texla, we have more than 20 monasteries which we discovered till now. Promote harmony, care for others, appreciate opportunities, and work for the benefit of all beings. It is not working. Lai, हाँ. Lai. किससे किया? Second. Okay. This is Pakistan's Gandhara region. The cities of Peshawar, Charsadda, Mardan, Sawat, and Texla were once the main centers of Gandhara. In Afghanistan, Gandhara extended across the northeastern part of the country. Gandhara was a region of well-watered green valleys, clay-cut hills, and a pleasant weather. This attracted people from far and wide to settle here or even to invade. Buddhism flourished in Gandhara as a dominant religion from the 3rd century BCE to 5th century CE. A large number of monasteries, stupas, and learning centers were founded all across the region. Buddhists from the distant lands visited these learning centers in search of Buddhist texts and knowledge. The Texla Valley is about 40 kilometers from Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan. Texla enjoyed a central position on the trade route coming from China, Persia, and subcontinent. It was located along a branch of the Silk Road that connected China to the west. Pakistani and international archaeologists have discovered dozens of Buddhist monasteries, stupas, and complexes in Texla. Archaeologists' evidence shows that significance of Texla as a great center for Buddhist art and architecture. Sculptures from these sites are of great importance in Buddhist studies. These beautiful sculptures were made with schist stones and molded in plaster or conjure stones. It is from these sites the representation of Lord Buddha emerged in a human time, first time from Texla. These sculptures depict important scenes from the life of Buddha. These images, along with Buddhist texts produced in Gandhara, help preaching the Dharma. Important stupas and monasteries discovered in Texla are, this is Dharma Rajika. It is said that this is built by Ashoka 2500 years back. And also we found Buddhist relics in it. We got a Buddha tooth, and some relics from this Dharma Rajika complex. This is Moda Muradu. This is Julian complex. This is Kunala complex. And this is Bhallar stupa. These are all main stupas found in Texla. UNESCO has declared Texla as a World Heritage Site due to the cultural value for the entire world. The Bhamala Buddhist complex is a unique site in many ways. Let's get a few glimpses of the treasures of Bhamala. Bhamala means the place of light and peace. Its setting in a hilltop of River Haro gives the sense of peace and tranquility. This is the picture taken now. Just imagine, 1800 years back, it would be like a beautiful, serene, more beautiful than that. This site was discovered and partially excavated by famous British archaeologist Sir John Marshall in 1930-31. Next phase of excavation was carried out between 2012 to 2016. To understand well, I divide the site into 4 parts. A, B, C, and D. This is the whole complex. We have divided this into 4 sites. When you reach at the site on the hilltop, you are standing in front of a very large stupa. This is, let's call this stupa A. The main stupa at Bhamala is stupa A. It is different and unique. It is a stepped cross planned stupa. These type of stupas are not very common. This is the largest well-preserved cross planned stupa in this valley. It is approximately 10 meters high in its present condition. The stupa is provided with 4 flights of steps on 4 cardinal sides. The side wall was decorated with series of small panels, displayed different stucco figures of meditating Buddha. Along with these, Sir John Marshall found a beautifully made stucco sculpture of Mahaparinirvana seen from this stupa. See, he found this in a tile from stupa A in 1930. Terracotta tiles were also found in the pavement across the stupa court. Designs on the tiles included Dharma chakra, lotus petals, circles, swastikas, and other curved and geometric designs. An interesting feature of the complex was a Dharma chakra, made up of these tiles in front of the eastern ascent of the main stupa. You can see one black and white picture is from 1930. Sir John Marshall excavated this Dharma chakra, and then in 1931 he covered this again. And the Dr. Hamid and his team, they are again trying to excavate it in 2012. The main stupa was surrounded by 19 votive stupas and 5 chapels of image shrines. The sides of votive stupas were also decorated with small Buddha sculptures with different meditating poses. Now let's go to the monastic area. The monastery is on the easternmost side of the complex. It is comprised of a large court of double-story cells in the front area and a kitchen and assembly hall in the back side. The monastery also has some exceptional features, like there is a broad veranda along the western side of the court of cells. There is a staircase in the kitchen leading to the upper story of monastery. Another interesting feature is the presence of buttresses, which according to John Marshall were for the watchtowers. There is a small square platform with 3 steps also found near the area of water tank, which is quite unusual. We have no idea why they have, within the water tank, there is a platform, a small square platform with 3 steps. Some monks told Dr. Abdul Hamid that this is for the venerables to do some chant or something, but we still don't know why this structure is there. So let's go to the chamber on the western side of the stupa A. The most important discovery which made this place more sacred and distinctive is the excavation of a 14-meter-long Mahaparinirvana, or the death scene statue of Lord Buddha. Radiocarbon dating places this structure to the 3rd century CE. So we can safely say that this is the earliest example of the monumental Mahaparinirvana image. We have the first big monumental colossal image of Buddha. The Buddha we can find in Ajanta caves or Sanchi or other places. These are from the 5th century. But this Buddha, from carbon dating, scientific evidences, it is clear that this Buddha is from 3rd century. So this is the first one colossal Buddha image in Gandhara. This image is present in a 23-meter-long and 8-meter broad rectangular chamber. The colossal image of Buddha was depicted reclining on its right side in a north-south direction, with the head to the south and the statue facing to the east towards the main stupa A. The statue was badly damaged. The surviving remnants included the pillow, the lower foot, draped leg, and half body. From the Mahaparinirvana image Sir John Marshall got from stupa A, a hypothetical reconstruction has been made, and it is like this. The statue is made up of conjure stone covered with painted plasters. The interior walls of the chamber were originally decorated with terracotta sculptures of the bodhisattvas and devotees mourning the death of Buddha. Presence of terracotta sculpture is another new discovery in 3rd century. Many heads and other body parts were found from inside the chamber. And we can say one is some prince head and other is from bodhisattvas and monk's head. So again, we can assume that at that time they have a proper picture of so many people. They were mourning around the death of Buddha. But after, the condition is not very good, so we cannot find the main proper sculpture from that place. On the back side of the Mahaparinirvana chamber, second rectangular shaped stupa and monastic structures were found. This area of stupa B has a small court which is covered from 3 sides with the rows of small low-heighted chapels. Each chapel is attached a pedestal. A total number of 23 chapels and 24 pedestals were found. This portion was the most decorated place, contained a treasure of beautifully stucco sculptures of Buddha in different styles and sizes. The stupa was decorated with 15 small sculptures of Buddha in different meditating forms, and most strikingly we find the best part, we find 3 small panels showing Mahaparinirvana scene of Buddha. See, in the stupa B, we have on 3 different directions. On stupa B, we have these 3 tiles. Only one tile is intact and we can see the proper figure. Other 2 tiles are quite deteriorating in condition, but still we can see we have the remnants of sleeping Buddha. So there are 5 total. We find 4 tiles and 1 big Buddha. There are 5 scenes of Mahaparinirvana scene from Bhamala complex. Each chapel contained stucco sculpture of seated Buddha either in meditation or preaching pose, and these are covered by devotees or deities. We find these sculptures in the small chapels, and these are original ones. Only the eastern chapels were more intact because they have their back wall of Mahaparinirvana chamber, so they are intact, still intact. Other the eastern side and the north side, it is all destructive. Outside of the chapels were standing images of Buddha resting on pedestals. We have only 1 pedestal left with better form. It shows half of the draped portion of standing Buddha figure. We have only one pedestal left, but we know we have the remnants of pedestals, but we don't have the sculpture of Buddhas. But we can tell that we have these chapels and we have pedestals, and we have some part of feet on some pedestal. So there are standing sculptures of stucco sculptures of Buddha, but only 1 is left with this condition. The presence of double halo sculpture of the Buddha was also an interesting discovery at Bhamala. Usually we have Buddha sculpture only with 1 halo in his head, around his head. But in this monastery, we have so many sculptures with double halo. The head halo is called nimbus, and the body halo is called aureole. We have so many Buddha sculptures here with both of the halos. The halo around head is plain disc, and the body had a double halo structure. The space between circles were decorated with lotus flower. If you can see, the body halo is decorated with small petals of lotus. There is a small votive stupa which is near the main stupa in the eastern side. In this monastery, we have only 1 votive stupa, but in stupa A, we have 19 votive stupas. So here we can get only 1 votive stupa. So with this we have finished our Bhamala Buddhist complex, but thanks to technology, I'll be showing you the aerial view of the complex after 1800 years. And this is simply breathtaking. See. It's River Haro at one side, and you can see in middle Stupa A, one side monastery, and the other side is rectangular chamber. Behind rectangular chamber is the stupa B. This is the beautiful aerial view of this in 2022. And just imagine 1800s years ago, it was like awesome. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Thank you so much.
Okay, round of applause for Dr. Fassia. Thank you for showing us such a breathtaking holy place in Taxila, especially Bamala. This is a place that we missed during our visit. And it's great to know that there is a Mahaparinirvana statue of the Buddha and also the double halo. So we definitely make our trip happen next time, okay? So, and also thank you for our speaker, Venerable Yoteng, to letting us know this is the ancient Gandhara is a melting pot of the civilization of Western and Eastern. So this is so beautiful. Since we know that Gandhara is such a holy birthplace of Mahayana Buddhism, so this is a question for the audiences. Are you all still here? Or your heart and mind is already in the ancient Gandhara? Already there. So the next is the most important question. So come back here. This question is to our Dr. Israel. How to develop the pilgrimage tourist? How to make our dream come true to go to visit your homeland in Pakistan? Also, while encouraging more people to learn or to visit the ancient Buddhist sites in Gandhara, how can your country ensure that these Buddhist culture sites will not be damaged? And can you please also share with us about the attitude of Pakistan friends towards other religion?
Venerable Yu Chong, thank you once again. You, ask me difficult questions, so people already would like to fly now, and go to see some of these sacred and holy sites in Pakistan. To tell you the truth, your question has basically three questions: how to develop, heritage pilgrimage tourism in Pakistan, how to protect these sites, and Pakistan, like many other countries, has some issues of religious tolerance, how to address those. So these are important questions, key questions. To tell you the truth, in terms of tourism, Pakistan is a great destination for domestic tourism. In the previous response, I have tried to show you Pakistan is a land of diversity. We have everything from mountains to deserts. So beautiful mountains, beautiful sites. We have many domestic visitors. In summer, just last year, my area received about 1 million visitors. And in winter, many areas of Pakistan receive thousands and thousands of visitors, but most of them are Pakistanis themselves. Internationally, yes, we have not been able to promote Pakistan as a tourist destination. Our government, our travel agencies should do a lot more to promote Pakistan as a religious tourism destination for Buddhists of the world, for Sikhs of the world, because the Sikh founder was born in Pakistan. And he left this world from Pakistan. He died, he passed away in Pakistan. We have beautiful, I'll show you later, we have beautiful churches, we have beautiful fire temples of Zoroastrian era. So we have not been able to promote Pakistan as a religious destination. We have to do a lot. Our government has just started doing that. Has just started, they come up with the Kartarpur corridor for Sikhs. Kartarpur corridor is a Sikh holy site where Baba Guru Nanak Ji, passed away. So they built a Gurdwara and a Darbar, and Pakistan in 2019, 2-3 years ago, in November of 2019, opened this Kartarpur corridor to celebrate 550th birthday of Baba Guru Nanak. So what we are doing, we are suggesting Pakistani authorities to have a similar corridor to encourage Buddhist tourism, and we call it Gandhara corridor. Pakistan must have a Gandhara corridor for Buddhists from the entire world to see and to visit some of the key sites. In order to do that, Pakistan needs a lot of money, because just in Swat, I would refer to Venerable Ruching. Xuanzang said, I could count more than 1,400 monasteries just in one Swat valley when he visited, there in the 7th century. So we have a lot to protect, but we can start with 4 or 5 main sites. Our government should start. I have proposed a few sites in the next slide maybe. So these are the sites. They need to be promoted as tourist destination. They need to be protected. These are all very important, 5 very important sites. Pakistan can start with these 5 sites and then, expand to other sites. So this is one thing definitely the Pakistani authorities need to do, and we are trying as foundations, as NGOs, we are trying to work closely with the government to promote this as a tourist pilgrimage destination. So I think we should not go into the details of this. Pakistan is largely a Muslim country. We have only 4% non-Muslim population, but in terms of, look at this beautiful church. This is a Pakistani church, the picture. This is a beautiful church, and the next picture you can see, this is a beautiful fireplace in Karachi, Zoroastrian fireplace, fire temple. So we have worship places for almost every religion in Pakistan. The only thing is to promote Pakistan as a religious tourism destination. Yes, we have issues of religious intolerance. Yes, we need to do a lot. The government is trying to change minds of the people. We are trying as NGOs, as foundations, we are also trying to change minds of some of the people, not everyone. Your question, Venerable Yuzong, was how can we ensure protection of these sites? I tell you, in Gandhara, all these sites are well protected. Local people, except for one, Jahanabad Buddha, they never try to, destroy communities, local communities. They never try to destroy. They try to protect. They try to encourage, local communities. They try to local Pakistanis, ordinary Pakistanis. But of course, there are some people with political motives who, encourage people on issue basis, based on a reactionary attitude. They encourage youth to, do certain things which are not good, or they try to stereotype, the country as a Muslim country, so it should not have others. So there are very few people, just few people. And we had, unfortunately, government policies in late 1970s, when, like other nations, Muslim nations, we tried to fight a war of another country to defeat Soviet Union. So in order to defeat Soviet Union in Afghanistan, we tried to promote jihad, to promote Islam. It's an Islamic war to fight Russians and take them out of Afghanistan. So that war has an adverse impact on some of the sections of our society. So, but we need to change their minds. The government now is trying to change their minds through various things. The government policy, if you look at this slide, you will find Pakistan has come up with a national interfaith harmony policy. They have national commissions to protect rights of minorities and scholarships, welfare funds for minorities. And I have just given you the example of Kartarpur corridor to encourage Sikh pilgrimage tourism. They have done a lot of things. They have reopened very, very important Hindu temples in not far from Islamabad. Again, if you come to Islamabad and if you want to see a Hindu site, most important site, you can visit in 1.5 hours. We can take you there. It's Katas Raj, the Hindu site, very important. Government has, renovated their sites, rebuilt and protected that site. So there is change in government attitude, but we also need to change the minds of those few young people. So the government is also working on a national curriculum. When I was at school, I grew up reading some really, hard core kind of textbooks. But now they have changed it. They have included cultural diversity, religious diversity into social studies textbooks and other textbooks. So the government is now taking right steps. My center is trying to help the government to promote cultural and religious diversity, to promote our ancient heritage, to own it. So we definitely need a lot of work to do that, but I tell you, I have added this quotation from a minority, a non-Muslim leader who was member of our parliament. Look at the slide, what he says. It is from the core of his heart. He's a well-known leader in Pakistan. He says Pakistan is home of some of the most sacred religious sites in the world. It is the land of Guru Nanak, Buddha, Mahavira. Mahavira is the founder of Jain religion, Jainism religion, Rigveda, Mahabharata. It is also home to vibrant and diverse religious communities. I would like to invite all of you to please come and see Pakistan, see your history, your ancient history. We are trying as a nation, we are trying to protect these sites. Our communities are trying to protect these sites, but Pakistan is not a rich country. So the government cannot spend 4% on education, 4% of its GDP on education. We have been trying to increase the budget, but Pakistan is spending 2.5 or 2.4 of its budget on education. So on health, our economy is not like China. It's not like the US or Germany or not even other countries of the region. So we need a lot of resources. We need to protect these sites. But if you start visiting, if you start, you and other countries, people start visiting these sites, the government can pay more attention, a lot of attention to these sites. So I would encourage and invite you to please visit Pakistan. We are there to facilitate you, to show you the sites, to connect you with people there, with archaeologists and scholars there. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Israel. We're definitely looking forward for the Gandhara corridor, and there are 5 key sites, and I just realized that we missed 2 of them. So together with the Bamala, we missed 3 of them. Okay, we definitely will make it happen in our next trip. Okay. And also, if we have chance to visit there again, we hope to go to visit like Hindu temples or churches or other Buddhist temples as well. So the theme of today's forum is a Millennium Promise with the Buddha. I believe most of us are moved and excited to see the Buddha who has been waiting for 1,000 years in Gandhara. However, what can we do for this precious world heritage? What can we do for the completion of the history about Buddhism? May I have Venerable Yo Teng to share her views?
I think what we can do from Fo Guangshan through the Humanistic Buddhism Research Center in perhaps we can organize more activity or exchange, and archaeologists or related scholars continuously to collect the data for the completeness of the Gandhara history, and also more publication in the journals, and also documentary. Perhaps this is very important to leave a record in video or visual form, except from the publication. And also perhaps we can have more activities internationally to exchange the student or the youth we have to the platform of our BLIA, Buddha's Light International Association, and also under the BLIA we have a young adult division. So in terms of education, through this platform we can have more religious or cultural exchange education. We can enhance harmony and understand more each other, especially to promote Gandhara culture to the world. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Venerable Yo Teng. Thank you for your view. And the last question I would like to ask Venerable Ru Xing. Fo Guangshan's Venerable has stepped into Afghanistan in February and Pakistan. So this is breaking the gap between religions, opening a window of goodwill, and providing that humanistic Buddhism can be evolved into globalization state and communicate harmoniously with other religions. So may I ask Venerable Ru Xing, in your preference, what Fo Guangshan should do in the future to create a brand new structure in international communications about religion exchanges?
Okay, thank you, Venerable Yo Zhong. I think, personally, I think the religion exchange, especially like forums and also inter-religious talk, is a very good media. And I think with the development of the technology, we can always organize these talks online. Not necessarily that we go to meet each other in person. Of course, it is a very effective ways. I think maybe after these few inter-religious talk, then we can have student exchanges or maybe tour like us. I think it's a very effective way for us to clear our doubts and to explore into each other's cultures, our lifestyles, and our religion, because we spend time with each other. I really appreciate when we are in Pakistan, we have a lot of talks with Dr. Ijal, Dr. Ghani, Dr. Zaki. Those are the peoples who always ready to answer our questions when we are out at those sites, and it really clears my doubts, and I harvested a lot of knowledge. I think they have better in terms of Buddhist knowledge than us, in terms of Pakistan Buddhism. So after the trip, I think I have changed a lot in terms of especially the stereotype that was accumulated over years through the medias and everything. So in Chinese word, we have this so-called 读万卷书不如行万里路. So you have to go to the place yourself. So exchanges to the actual place is one of the very effective tools. So this is what I want to stress once again. If you want me to talk about the so-called religious exchanges, so I think this is could be one of the way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for all our speakers of today. A round of applause again for all of them. Thank you for your insightful sharing. And now we will proceed to questions and answer sessions. We have approximately 10 minutes for the session. So please feel free to ask if you have any questions or share your thoughts with your speakers. Yeah, thank you for bringing such an important issue. Yeah, so I think we could have our speakers to share with us.
First, you can share your experience.
Okay, I think I would like to address this question by saying, indeed, there are not much greens. Normally, what was on the dinner tables or lunch table is dal and naans, rotis. There are plenty delicious rotis and naans, but indeed, not many greens. And you have to really learn to adapt if you want to practice vegetarianism. But they have many delicious food besides vegetarian. If you are just partially become a vegetarian, then I think you can be very flexible to try the food in Pakistan. We eat a lot of lentils. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, friend Baru Singh. Actually, during the trip, we enjoy eating the naan, different kind of naans, and then the lentil curries. They are nice. Yeah, and we have yogurt to help us the digestion.
And the strawberry kiwi fruits very cheap. Very nice.
I know about your impression. Yes, you are thinking Pakistan is a country of meat eaters. Yeah. It is indeed, but you know, my area is famous for tourism, right? As a child, I could see international visitors, more than Pakistani visitors. What they left behind was, you know, the communities, in order to facilitate those visitors, had to learn English. Even illiterate people can speak English. Why? Because, you know, many tourists would visit that area. Climbers, you know, hikers, trekkers, so would visit my area. So it left behind English as a language, proficiency in English is a must. So if you start visiting our country, if our Buddhist brothers and sisters start visiting the country, they will definitely teach them how to facilitate, how to make a vegetarian, a vegetable eater happy, and what he or she likes. So yes, we still need to be educated to serve, vegetarians and make them happy. But alternatives, venerables have mentioned, we have delicious naans, yogurt of every type, and lentils without garlic and without without garlic and without onions we can serve definitely. But yeah, I agree. We need some education. Yeah.
And basmati rice as well. Rice. Yeah. That I would suggest you, perhaps you can stay in the guest house instead of hotel, so that you can cook your own meal. And the greens actually available, you can buy it from the grocery shop, because this is not their culture or it's not their eating habit to have greens or vegetarian, so they don't have these dishes, but you can cook and prepare your own meal. If you stay in the guest house, the kitchen facility is for you to use. And also, I would suggest perhaps you can bring some instant noodles. That's what we did. Canned food, yeah. So dry fruit. So we can always prepare, but over there it's very convenient. In fact, you can go to the supermarket and even you can find Lee Kam Gi. Yeah, and yes, oyster sauce and all kinds of sauces for the Chinese cooking available. Yeah, thank you.
Venerable Yutang has great tips for you. Right now, since we are going to organize trips for so many people from Malaysia and other, Buddhist countries. So right now we are working with a few travel agencies, tour operators, to educate them as well. So they need to be educated as well, how to, entertain and host a vegetarian, guest. So right now we are working with 2 tour operators right now. One is Sustainable Tourism Foundation of Pakistan. So in order to host and conduct special visitors, you will be our special visitors.
So
yeah, that's a good question. If you are a pilgrimage tourist or a pilgrim to Buddhist sites, I would encourage you to visit in February, March, or in October and November. The weather is not very cold, not very hot, because it's really pleasant weather, because some of the sites you will have to walk for 20 minutes and 30 minutes. In hot weather you can't. In Pakistan, hot weather means really, really hot. Right now we have some areas which are 47, 48 degrees. So yeah. So I would encourage you to visit in in February, March, October, and November. Yeah.
So I hope that answers your questions. So is there any more feedback or questions from the floor?
Hi, hello. Actually, I'd just like to know, if you're traveling from Lahore, do you really have to get a permit?
Traveling to Lahore, no. You don't need, we call it no objection certificate.
Right.
For most of Pakistan. But if you are going to the border area, border between India and Pakistan, anywhere, border between Afghanistan and Pakistan, anywhere, you will need a special permission. Other than that, Lahore, Peshawar, Swat, Karachi, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Multan, you don't need a special, permission.
Right, I was surprised that they need to have a permit to travel to Bamala and all these places.
But for Bamala, for Bamala we had two issues. One, the time. In Texla we wanted to cover as many sites as possible in one day. If you are traveling from Islamabad to Texla, you will have to plan 1 day trip.
Okay.
You need a 40-minute drive to Texla and spend 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and then come back to Islamabad or Rawalpindi, because Texla doesn't have very good hotels, tourist-friendly hotels, so you'll have to stay either in Islamabad or Peshawar. So time was a factor. And the second factor, you can travel easily in a car to Bamala, but you cannot travel in a big coaster or a big bus because the road is narrow. So that was the second factor, because we had 50 people and we had 3 or 4 big coasters. So that's why we had to drop Bamala site.
Right, but definitely the permit is not required for foreigners, right?
No permission is required. No special
okay.
permission, no.
Okay, all right. And in fact, myself is not strange to Lahore or Karachi. I've been there a couple of times, so I was a bit surprised that you need to have permit to travel to Bamala and all these places.
No, you need definitely a visa. I think for Malaysia it's easy to get a visa. Maybe you can share. Yeah, it's online. Yeah, it has become online. Thank God. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I think I just not the information given by me. I heard from Dr. Gani that you all must inform the local government that the arrival of us, so that they can take care of the safety of the tourists. That is called license, but not the permit for the tourists for every places, to inform the local police.
Exactly, that's right. That's right, Venerable Yutang, yes, absolutely. If you are traveling in a big group which consists of international visitors, we must inform that the travel agency, and we took care of that. We took care of that. We send them a list of visitors. That's a formality. Yeah, for international groups, we need to inform the government so that they deploy right people, police authorities, to take care of these international visitors. Yeah.
I have 2 questions. One is regarding water, drinking water, and the other is, do we see images of police guns walking around on the road? Because that would be quite scary.
You want me to? Water.
Have you seen any police walking on the road?
I think for the tourist spot, for our safety, so they are patrolling for our safety. I'm not sure that is the security or the police. The security for the... yeah, but it's very safe. It's very safe. Yeah. Water, we have no issue. We have no problem. Yeah, our stomach's still okay.
But I would not encourage you to drink water from any taps there. Tap water, no. Yeah, you need to buy a bottled water, which is very reasonably priced. It's not expensive. We have international water bottlers there, like Nestle is very famous. So you can find Nestle water bottles and other famous companies, Pepsi and Coca-Cola. They have mineral water bottles, small and big and very big. So yeah.
Okay, seems like our audiences is ready to backpack to Pakistan. They ask about the visas, the food, the water, the weather.
Thanks to our ambassadors here, our venerables are our ambassadors. Thank you.
Is there any more questions?
Just ask you, this Buddhist site, currently any temple in this Buddhist site or any local monk there or government allowed to build new Buddhist temple around the Buddhist site or not?
That's an interesting question. Dr. Fasiha also referred to destruction of some of these sites. You know, after Kushan's rule, white Huns attacked, you know, Gandhara and the entire region, and they destroyed so many worship places. And after Kushan's, we see Hindu rule there in that area, Gandhara area, and after Hindus, we see Muslim rule in that area. Muslims from Ghazni, they came. So Buddhism, the Buddhist kingdom, collapsed in the 6th century, and it could not progress again. So believers from that area either were converted or they moved to other safe areas. So we don't have any, maybe 250, 300 total believers in Pakistan, Buddhist believers, but they don't live in Gandhara. We don't have a functional temple in any of these sites in Gandhara. We do have one temple in Islamabad, but that's exclusive, I should say. It's not open for public because it is being looked after by an embassy, and only, embassy of Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan embassy takes care of that temple, and it's open for diplomatic community only. But around these sites, unfortunately, we don't have a functional temple or monastery. The Buddhist believers, 250, 300 people or houses, they live in Sindh, which is south of Pakistan. They live near Karachi. It's south, and Karachi, I should not say it's out of Gandhara. It has some influence of Gandhara, of course, but it's not in the main center of Gandhara. So yeah, to answer your question, we don't have a functional temple for public. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for Dr. Israel. Now we almost come to the end of the symposium. So may I have our speakers to conclude today's forum in a short sentence? Start with Dr. Israel.
Oh, I think I have said enough of it. I will repeat, do visit Pakistan to see your origins, your history, and we are trying to protect it with our government, with its limited resources. What we need to do is we need to engage communities to be good hosts, to have, you know, some place in their own house to host Buddhists. But please do visit Pakistan. We do have a handful of people, like in many other countries, like in the US. You know, religious tolerance, ethnic tolerance is a big problem. We do have people, but you know, it's not a dangerous country. The media, don't listen please to the media. They are, the media are business people, so business entities. They have to sell product to increase their viewership, but the real Pakistan is different from what public media shows. So this is my request and my pleading to you to visit Pakistan. We are there to facilitate you as a foundation. We are there to make your visit comfortable as is possible.
Thank you so much. How about Venerable Rusing?
I remember once Venerable Tao An said in his speech, he said it in Chinese, okay? 不依国主则法事难立. If one religion didn't rely on the imperial power or the local government, it cannot be developed. Okay, so for what we see, the Buddhism has vanished in Pakistan, but now we see the new light because the government has opened another alternative or an option for us to visit the place. Of course, I wouldn't say maybe there is a hope of the revival, but I do hope there is a chance for us to stand in a common ground and to exchange ideas, exchange our histories, exchange these peace messages between each others, and so that the Buddhism or the history can be introduced back to the Pakistanis again. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable Rusing. So now it's Venerable Yoteng.
Thank you. It's very delighted to see the Pakistan government implements such a good policy to promote religious tourism and also the interfaith. Very important policy. So for the government, actually, they have already invested a lot of money in excavation and protection, maintenance, and also restoring these archaeology sites. So the resources actually is huge, and also World Bank, I heard, and UNESCO, they are supporting as well. But it is far not enough for the protection, because it's for around 2,000 years. Archaeological sites and all these heritages is very precious, and a lot more still underneath of the earth, so unexcavated. And also I heard from our scholars saying that, okay, they plan not to excavate more because it will be destroyed and decay, so better keep it until the next generations continue their work, because it's rather hard to protect and maintain and restore the current site that they've already excavated. So what we can do, perhaps give them more support and to support the religious tourism. And for BLIA, please welcome our Buddha's Light friends through our international platform. Every 2 years, we have the International BLIA Conference. Invite them to come so that they can promote and introduce the Gandhara culture and Pakistan to the rest of the world. For the young adult division, we do have our international conference as well. If you have a group of students or young people, so they're welcome to this international platform. We are reach out to the world and let the world see Gandhara culture in Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for all the speakers of today. Thank you for sharing for your thoughtful views of these beautiful Gandhara civilizations. Thus bring us to the end of the symposium. So thanks again for every one of you for joining us. Hope you enjoy the symposium and has a very happy Vesak Day. Thank you.
Thank you again to the panel of speakers and our moderator, Venerable Yu Zhong. And thank you so much for all your presence. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be a bit naughty here. Since Venerable Yu Zhong said that maybe, you know, BLIA can organize this international conference, right? Can we make it a little bit more nearer? Because we have a Dhamapala branch, the English BLIA branch locally. We have actually organized a pilgrimage trip to India in 2019. I led the group. I'm going to ask now for Venerable Rusing to approve for us to have a pilgrimage trip to Pakistan.
When the condition ripens. When the condition ripens, everything can be done.
Yes. Thank you, Venerable.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the teamwork, great teamwork from the Dhamapala group. Because all these exhibitions, all the work done are by them. Without their effort, this cannot be done. Thank you very much once again. Great job, Dhamapala. Thanks.
And now, lastly, we would like to give a souvenir of appreciation to the panel. May I invite our president of Dhamapala branch, Sister Choi Mi, to come out to the souvenir to Dr. Ijal. Thank you, Dr. Ija. Sister Choi Mi, may we now present a souvenir to Venerable Yu Teng. Venerable Yu Zhong. And last but not least, our Deputy Abbess, Venerable Ru Sing. Okay, this is the end of our... Okay, this is the end of our forum today. Thank you again so much for coming. And hopefully, when the condition ripens, we will go to Pakistan.